Warren Buffett versus the crowd, the psychology of independent thinking. Imagine you're standing in a crowded room. Everyone is running towards the same door. Prices are rising. Everyone is excited. Your friends are making money. The news says this is the beginning of a new era. And then there's one person walking in the opposite direction. That person is Warren Buffett. But here's the fascinating part. Buffett's greatest advantage isn't simply knowing what to buy. It's being psychologically comfortable doing what makes no sense to everyone else. Think about what happens when you invest. If a stock is falling, fear tells you to sell. If it's rising rapidly, greed tells you to buy. And when everyone around you is making the same decision, something inside your brain whispers, they can't all be wrong. That's the psychology of the crowd. Humans are social animals. Following other people once helped our ancestors survive. If everyone suddenly ran from danger, you didn't stop to calculate probabilities. You ran too. But the stock market is different. The crowd can run in the same direction while being completely wrong. Buffett understood this long before behavioral finance became popular. His famous idea about being fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful isn't simply an investing trick. It's a psychological discipline. The real question isn't what is everyone doing. It's what do I believe is true, even if everyone disagrees with me. That's incredibly difficult, because independent thinking has a hidden cost: social discomfort. Imagine buying an excellent company when everyone believes the market is finished. For months, the price might continue falling. Your friends may question you. Financial television may tell you that you're making a terrible decision. And suddenly, being rational feels like being stupid. This is where many investors feel. They don't necessarily lack intelligence. They lack psychological independence. Buffett once described the stock market as a place where money is transferred from the impatient to the patient. But there's another transfer happening. Money can move from people who need social confirmation to people who can tolerate uncertainty. That's the deeper Buffett lesson. Independent thinking doesn't mean automatically disagreeing with everyone. That's just another form of following the crowd. If everyone says yes, you don't become intelligent by saying no. You become independent by asking better questions. What am I actually buying? What is this business worth? What assumptions am I making? What would make my investment thesis wrong? And perhaps most importantly, would I still make this decision if nobody ever knew about it? That last question is powerful, because sometimes we're not investing for returns, we're investing for approval. We want to tell people about the stock we bought. We want to look intelligent. We want to participate in the exciting story everyone is discussing. But Buffett's mindset is almost the opposite. He doesn't need the market to congratulate him today. He needs his decision to make sense years from now. And that changes everything. The average investor watches the crowd for direction. The independent investor watches reality. That's why Buffett's philosophy extends far beyond stocks. In business, careers, relationships, and personal finance, the crowd often rewards conformity immediately. Independent thinking often rewards you later. So the next time everyone around you becomes convinced that something is obviously true, don't rush to disagree. Pause. Ask why they believe it. Then ask yourself what evidence would change your mind. Because the goal isn't to become a contrarian. The goal is to become difficult to manipulate. And perhaps that is Warren Buffett's greatest psychological advantage. Not that he always knows what the crowd doesn't know, but that he doesn't need the crowd to agree with him before he acts. The greatest advantage Buffett has isn't his billions. It's his ability to remain rational when everyone else is emotional. So here's the question. If you knew nobody would ever judge you for your financial decisions, how differently would you invest, spend, save, or build your life? Because sometimes the biggest obstacle between you and better decisions isn't a lack of information. It's the fear of being the only person in the room who sees things differently.